warning about Jeffrey Epstein may have reached the FBI nearly 15 years before his final arrest. And according to newly reported court documents, the person who delivered that warning was Playboy founder Hugh Hefner. The documents allege that in 2005, former Playboy Playmate Audra Christiansen told Hefner she had been sexually abused and trafficked by Epstein. Christiansen was Miss October 2003 and was reportedly 23 when she turned to Hefner for help while living at his Beverly Hills mansion. She reportedly asked him to contact the FBI because she believed his connections and influence could make authorities take her allegations seriously. According to the complaint, Hefner did exactly that. The lawsuit states that he called the FBI multiple times on Christiansen's behalf, but the suit alleges the warning did not lead to a proper investigation at the time, and Christiansen reportedly did not hear from the FBI until October 2020, about 15 years later. According to the lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida, Christiansen approached Hefner with serious allegations involving Epstein. The complaint states, Mr. Hefner called the FBI multiple times on behalf of Ms. Christiansen to report Jeffrey Epstein. Mr. Hefner called the FBI multiple times on behalf of Ms. Christiansen to report Jeffrey Epstein. The filing says the FBI agreed to assist Christiansen and investigate her allegations. But according to the lawsuit, that follow-up allegedly never came for roughly 15 years. Christiansen was reportedly finally contacted by the FBI in October 2020. By then, Epstein was already dead. Her account, as described in the filing, alleges that she was raped by Epstein and trafficked for 10 years. The lawsuit claims the FBI failed to follow mandatory policies requiring credible reports involving child sexual abuse and trafficking to be investigated. And the Christiansen allegation is part of a much broader case. The amended lawsuit was filed by 32 Epstein survivors who accused the FBI of failing to act on reports about Epstein dating back as early as 1996. According to the filing, Christiansen's alleged warning was one of multiple opportunities authorities had to investigate Epstein. The timing is significant. The reported Hefner warning came in 2005, the same year Palm Beach police began investigating Epstein after allegations involving a teenage girl. That investigation eventually expanded. Epstein pleaded guilty in Florida in 2008 to state charges involving prostitution, including solicitation of a minor. In July 2019, federal prosecutors in New York charged him with sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy. He died in federal custody the following month while awaiting trial. So the alleged Hefner warning is now being examined against a much larger timeline of warnings, investigations, and missed opportunities surrounding Epstein. The survivors accuse the United States government of negligence in the way early information about Epstein was handled. The government has moved to dismiss the lawsuit. The FBI has argued that it was not required to investigate every complaint it received. The survivors' lawyers argue that the agency received serious warnings over many years and failed to act appropriately. One of their attorneys, Jordan Merson, has accused the government of using procedural arguments to avoid accountability.
How can you learn from errors if you do not acknowledge them?
The courts will ultimately decide the legal questions, and the allegations in the lawsuit should not be treated as proven findings against the FBI. Hefner's alleged role adds another layer to the case. According to the filing, Christiansen believed Hefner had the influence and law enforcement connections to make her allegations heard. The lawsuit also alleges that she told Hefner she had been trafficked to Macau casino billionaire Stanley Ho. That remains an allegation contained in the lawsuit and has not been established as a fact. Christiansen was reportedly only contacted by the FBI in 2020 to follow up on information she had provided 15 years earlier. and according to the material filed in court, the FBI has never publicly addressed Hefner's alleged tip. Hefner died in 2017, Epstein died in 2019, but the questions surrounding the handling of warnings about Epstein have continued long after both men's deaths. The documents do not establish that the FBI is legally responsible for what Christiansen says happened. That remains a question for the courts. But the lawsuit presents another alleged warning in the long timeline surrounding Epstein, a warning that, according to the complaint, came through one of the most prominent figures in the Playboy world. A former Playmate allegedly turned to Hefner in 2005. Hefner allegedly called the FBI multiple times, and Christiansen reportedly waited until 2020 to hear from the Bureau. Now, survivors are asking whether authorities should have acted differently when those warnings arrived. The allegations remain contested, the government is fighting the lawsuit, and legal responsibility is unresolved. But the central question remains: if the FBI really received the warning in 2005, why did it allegedly take 15 years to come back to her?